This is the instructional how-to video for the Matt Levitt trailer. It's a brand new concession trailer. We're going to show you the operational features and the shutdown procedures for your brand new concession. I've got everything in the working position at this moment. One thing I do want to point out, condensation from the AC unit will come off. Just as you see here, it's coming off on the front passenger side corner. Sometimes you have to direct the trailer to pitch the water off. Got your exterior lights on either side of the concession window itself. We have your concession window open, flip-up counter set in place. I've got the gas system on, live, and all the equipment going, which I'll show you the operation of the equipment and then the shutdown procedure, and then going over how to start everything back up. We've got your waste drain valve here for one tank, tank itself. Flip up door to access behind the deep fryers and the 2-burner. Exterior light here by the entry door itself. We've got our city water fill box. This is for filling the freshwater tanks and using the water pump. So this is the non-pressure side. If you need to clean the tanks, you can do so with any bleach or sanitizer through this grommet here. You'll need a food grade water hose for filling that up. This is your city water fill, which is bypassing the tanks and water pump if you're offered pressurized water constantly. If you do, you can move that flap out of the way and be able to lock so nobody can tamper with it on this side itself. Access door is going to give you access again to your freshwater tanks, also your water heater, your water pump, your blowout valves as well. Got your 100 amp panel. Again, all 20 amp independent circuits. Outside of that panel is a 50 amp at 240 volt power cord that is going through the cable hatch and plugged into my shore power. We have your battery here, fuse panel, and then your battery charger itself. Again, I'm plugged into my shore power base plug itself. For your waste drain valve, both of them are the same. You can hook up a 3-inch hose or you can hook up a 3/4 inch hose. This will be obviously separate than your freshwater supply itself. Once the hose is hooked up, this valve pulls to the side and allows the water to flow out like so. Once that's done, do make sure that you close that back off and connect your cap before going into transport. So real quick, we've got the again, we got the propane on, we got the hood system on itself, fryers and burner in operation. So your tank, same as mine that I'm running, you turn the tank on, have the valve on itself. Right now, I've got the pilot lights going, but you can't hear any gas going through here. You will not hear gas going through here until you have the fryers up going into operation itself. The only other part is if you had a leak. This line does go down and below the trailer itself. Road debris can damage the pipe itself. So you always need to be attentive when you're starting up the gas. When you turn this valve on itself, you'll hear a charge of the line, and that's it. You should not hear gas running through that, which I'll go over here just momentarily. So we've got our interior and exterior light switches here. We've got our exhaust fan switch here. Always needs to be in the on position. We'll go ahead and show you the plugs in their working manner. Got your fridge down here at 35 degrees. Got paperwork sitting inside. This is the legs for the fryer, which also has the drain tube and the paperwork for each fryer. Steam table, we have paperwork for the fire suppression, and then paperwork for the fridge, all in its original contents. We've got your rear view window, upper shelf, got your 2-well propane steam table, got your 28-inch 8-pan sandwich prep, paperwork inside there, refrigeration below, and we're sitting at a nice 36 degrees. Plug passenger side V-nose. Plug on the driver's side V-nose. Sink sprayer set up in place. Got your 3-bin sink here. And we've got your hand wash sink as well. Always want to make sure you got constant water flow on both hot water sides before ever turning the water heater on itself. So we've got your hood system on again. Fire suppression system. We've got your tank, control head. This system is live and ready to go. The only thing that you need to do is have your local fire suppression company and fire marshal come out and tag the system after testing. So again, pull that pin, swing that arm, everything that's in this tank is going to dump out of here. The other side is the reason you want to have the hood system on is it's kind of two reasons. Propane stays low, and so if there was something, if you have one of these burners on, it's going to pull it up and out the fan. The other side of why you want to have that hood system always on, especially in cold weather, and these deep fryers get up to temperature, that heat sensor that is behind each filter, without the hood system on, that heat is going to stay trapped in here and break those sensors, and everything again in that tank will be coming out of these nozzles here. Make a big mess, take about a week to clean up, and about $2,000. So always make sure you have that hood system on when your equipment is in operation and your gas system is on. Again, you got your open burners here. As you see, those pilot lights are actually on and going, but the burners are in the off position. Once the pilots are lit, then you can control the burners. You do not want to force light. When I say force light, do not turn this on and strike a lighter. That is very dangerous. You definitely want to make sure that you use a lighter like this for administering flame. These stay in the off position. Always in the off position until your pilot light is lit. Again, once the pilot's lit, you have full control for your burners. We will wrap metal wire around these burners to hold them in place for transport. Eventually that wire will break and it will need to be replaced. Simply make sure that you replace it so that these burners do not move going in transport. We're going to go ahead and show you the fryers. Again, they're in the operational position. I want to show you all of those working. If you see the thermal pile that's actually lit itself, this heat piece is able to be removed. Always make sure that it's put back in place before operation, but you don't have to remove it for lighting. Again, just have to look underneath. This has to be in the on position, meeting the red dot. Again, you have full control for your burners. Now once you're done with this, do make sure that you turn this back to the off position. So for startup itself, the best way that I've always seen fit, every time that you start this unit up, again, this is in the off position because it's turned off at the moment. So on, off, twice. All it is you got to hear that noise connecting that thermostat to that gas valve. Then you would turn to where the L meets the red dot and allows you to push in. Now you have to hold this button in place and administer fire to that thermopile. Once that flame is going, you will continue to hold this this pilot button for 15 to 20 seconds and you'll slowly let off. As long as you can let off this button and your thermopile stays lit like you'd seen just before, then you can rotate to the on position with the red dot, and that's when you have full access for your thermostat itself. I always like to start them up and shut them down because it's hard to obviously use both hands and hold a camera as well. Also, again, in the paperwork bag with the legs, drain tube goes in here, open up and allow to clean the oil out of the vat. Never transport with oil in the vat itself because that is very dangerous. Again, thermopile lit, it's in the on position. Same thing with this fryer and your other fryer as well. Thermopile on. I always want to make sure that you turn these off every day, every time you close business. Now, you never need to transport with oil in the vats. Obviously, there is no cover made that will hold the oil in place. So do make sure that you leave ample time for allowing that oil to cool, or have an improved container for dumping the hot oil in. Now, again, shut off valve here for the 2L steam table. You're going to see that this is in the off position and that this is in the off position. Now I'll show you how to light these properly. Again, with the lighter like so. See here. What I'm going to do is force some of this air out, because this line is little bitty. I got to force this air out for just a second. Alrighty, back to where we left off. What I had to do is, this little screw right here was turned too far in, which closed the pilot off. So as you see, I had to open the pilot up. That way you have a proper flame. If you notice that flame is ever smaller, again, that, you know, you can watch. You can see how far. You know, it very easily turns. Make sure you got proper flame. But once you get done with your pilot, again, you see that these are in the off position. Turn them to the on position. There we go. Back in the operational position itself. Go ahead and turn the gas off. So again, we turn that gas valve off, turn the tank off itself. Always have the tank and the valve off before leaving for business or shutting down the business, and also transport. Again, likewise, when you turn the tank on for startup, you've got your hood system on. Once you turn that tank on, pressurizing the line to here, once you open that valve, you should hear a charge. This is for either one of the regulators. You only need to run one tank at a time. As long as you hear a split-second charge, you're good to go inside. Everything should be in the off position always when shut down, and all startup also. Again, split-second charge, you're good to go. If you hear a rush going through continuous, turn this off and have somebody inspect. Again, the lines run below the trailer, can be damaged from road debris itself. Want to make sure that this is a safe operation for you. These tanks will be strapped in place and pins put in the gate for proper transportation also. Let's see here. Again, that gas is bleeding out. You can see it, the reflection. It will be bleeding out itself. Now, back to the steam table. You'll have one pan that will go for water itself, and then you'll have your pans for your food. If you want more of a crispy product, your pans will go in, no water needed. I'm not sure what kind of food you are preparing. Also, switch on off here for the fridge itself. Again, burners will be strapped in place. Always make sure they are for proper transport. Make sure this pan is put up for proper transport as well. Fryers are always in the off position. You'll need to clean the fryers before you ever use them, and continuously make sure that you keep good oil in place. Again, AC unit itself, run it on high if you need to. Always want to make sure that that's turned off. That way you don't have a huge power draw with your generator. The only one item that you really can't turn off is the sandwich prep itself. So let's go over to the water heater and see what temperature we're at on it. Let's see here. 106, 107, 109, 10, 120 and still going. Definitely good hot water there. As far as shutdown procedures, again, everything that you can in the off position. Always propane's in the off position, turned off, tanks off, valves off, fridge. Obviously, you want to make sure everything is in a safe transport position. Again, hood fan switch here, off position. These light switches itself. Making sure all doors are locked and in a safe position. Your waste hose closed and put up. Same thing with freshwater hose. And your power cord for your panel itself needs to be put back inside for safe transport. Using the middle of the table itself, pressing upward, allows that table to roll down. Same thing for setting the table up. Always make sure that your door is closed as well and locked. Making sure lug nuts are always tight, air pressure always good. You have this grommet here, need to be removed once a year. Place grease in the Zerk fittings for lubricating the bearings itself. Again, tanks are always in the off position. Always making sure that left and right blinker, brake lights, and running lights are working perfectly fine. I didn't open this door, so I figure I will. Access, again, behind your deep fryers and your 2-burner. We thank you for taking the time to view this instructional video. We wish you the very best. Please use this video for safe and proper operation and anybody that's working with you. If you do have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out to us. We're glad to help, and we appreciate your business and wish you the very best. Thank you. Bye-bye.